Alright, CNT120, Chapter 4 Lab, we're on to Part 6. And again, make sure before you go any further, save your text file, save your packet tracer file so you don't lose any progress. We're now going to repeat what we did in Part 5 with IP4. We're going to repeat that with IP version 6. So let's set up our sniffer. We want to edit the filters so we're only seeing ICMP version 6. So over here in the sniffer, we're going to go to Edit Filters. We're going to unselect ICMP under IP4, and in IP6 we're going to select ICMP version 6. That way we're only seeing ICMP version 6, and I'll clear any captures there. I will close that, and we're going to, on the Harrisburg laptop, set the IP and gateway address, and we're going to do this just like we did back in Chapter 3. We're going to use the network piece we're going to define, and the last piece, the host piece, if you will, we're going to get from the MAC address. So Harrisburg laptop here, if I open my command prompt to do ipconfig/all, what I see here is the MAC address, and we're going to use these last 6 digits right there, those last six characters, to make the second half of my IP address. That's what we're going to do. So scrolling down through here, here I describe how you get the gateway address. So we'll define the IP address, but the gateway is going to come from the router. This Harrisburg laptop is attached to this router, so if I hold my pointer over this router, the gigabit 00 port here is going to be the gateway address we're going to use for the PC. So if I look at that, the gigabit 00, I see FD00AAA 202.16FF FE853501. That is the address, and that's how I got that right here. 16FFE853501. That is how I got that, by looking at the router. So now that I've gathered my info, what I end up doing is, here's the network, FD00A:A:A, and then there's the last half of my MAC address turned into this right here. So on this laptop here, Harrisburg laptop, we'll go to IP configuration. I'm going to leave IP4 alone. I'm going to come down here to IP6 and use static. And you can copy this in. Yay! We'll copy. We need to make sure we don't have extra spaces on the front or the back. Just like Chapter 3, folks. Don't forget. 64. And again, I'm going to make sure there's no spaces in front or back. I'll leave the link local alone. And I'm going to plug the gateway address in. Here's the gateway. That's the address of the router we're attached to. Again, no extra spaces in the front or back. Paste that in there. That will now set the IP address for this machine. So I will close that. I'll open up command prompt, and I do on this one, in real life, the command IP config would show it. In packet tracer, it wants you to do IPv6 config. That's just a little quirk in packet tracer, but here is the IP version 6 address, and here's the gateway address right there. Woo! Okay. We're going to do the same process over on the Philadelphia laptop. So here, again, I tell you to ipconfig, learn the last half of the MAC. That's how I'm getting that, through ipconfig all. So if I do here, go ipconfig/all, I learned that the last half of the MAC address out here, D69EDA, that's how I'm getting that. I then look at the router I'm attached to. This right here, this router, this gigabit 00 port. If I hold my pointer over and look at that address, I see that it is a FD00A:A:C 201.64FF FE4CA001. That is how I got that address right there. That's how I got that. So now that I have that, here can be the address of the PC, and then here can be the gateway for that PC. That's how I'm getting that info. So I'll go back to the PC here, Philadelphia laptop, ipconfig. I'll leave the IP4 alone and the IP6. Again, I can copy in the IP, make sure I don't have extra spaces or characters. So right click copy, I will paste that in. We're going to use 64. Remember, that is saying the first 64 is network, the last 64 is host. That's essentially what that is saying. Here is the gateway address. Carefully copy it, no extra spaces or characters there. I'm going to leave the link local alone, and I will paste this into the gateway line, the default gateway line right there. I will close that. Again, in real life, ipconfig would be the command, but in packet tracer, IPv6 config is the command. And there it is right there. There is my IP address, and then there is the default gateway, the router address. So now that I have these set, I'm going to generate traffic through the network from the Philadelphia laptop. I'm going to ping the Harrisburg laptop, and I can be smart. I'll open the Harrisburg laptop, and I will go in here to ipconfig, and I'm going to copy this. I will copy that. There's the Harrisburg laptop IP, right? There he is. And I will come over here onto the Philadelphia laptop, open up a command prompt. Now in packet tracer, I can use ping. In real life, it would need to be ping-6 if I'm on a Windows computer. Packet tracer does not understand that, so I'm just going to do ping, and I'm going to paste that address in. Boom. And I should be getting replies from this Harrisburg laptop. I should be getting replies. If I do not, retrace your steps. Scroll back here, retrace your steps in setting the Harrisburg laptop. Okay, here's the Harrisburg laptop settings. Retrace your steps, make sure they're right. And then come back to the Philadelphia laptop, retrace your steps, make sure they're right. And then carefully try the ping again. Okay, carefully try the ping again. Now that that has worked, I'm now going to look at, we'll close this out. I'm going to look at my sniffer here, and I should see some ICMP version 6 packets, and I do. This time I'm going to try to look at the first 2 packets, because I'm hoping that I got what I'm looking for there. I'm going to make that larger, and I'm going to look at the header fields for ICMP, or excuse me. I'm going to look at the header fields, IP version 6 header fields. I'll get it yet. Okay. So there's my Ethernet header. That's no different. Here's my IP6 header. Now, here's my version. Here's my traffic control. There's my flow label. Okay. Here's my hop limit. Here's the source address. You notice that's a lot larger because it's a lot more bits. And there's the destination address. So the source address is coming from that Philadelphia laptop because it is A::C. And it's going to the Harrisburg laptop because it's A::A. So there's the source coming from Philadelphia going to Harrisburg. I'm going to copy those while I'm here. I'm going to copy those while I'm here because I do want this. So here in part 6, we are looking at the IP version 6 header. Up here I put a note that this was IP4, so up here I need IP6. And we're going to say first ICMP version 6 packet. And here's the source IP, and we need the destination IP. Now, just like before, if I look at this packet, the next one in line, I should see these reverse or flip-flop, because we did a request and then a reply. So I'll look at the next one, and I should see this 90DA go to the destination, if you will. So I'll look at the next one, scroll down, 90DA goes to the destination. So this is the reply coming back. This is the reply coming back. Excellent. So here I'm going to record these as well. I'll say the second ICMP version 6 packet. And I'm going to copy the source here. Copy. And I will come over here, paste it in. And then I will do the destination address, destination IP address. And if I look at these now, I should see source is 90DA. And over here, it's destination 90DA. So these are flip-flopping, request, reply, request, reply. So there is my IP version 6 headers. Okay, there was the first and second ones here. And actually for this part, I'm just going to save my text file. I'm going to close my sniffer, and I'll save my packet tracer file. I can leave those IP version 6 static addresses alone. I can leave them set. I do not need to clear them out. We'll come back to the next part and take a look at NetStat.